River Kings drop a 5-3 decision to the Merritt Centennials here at the Hat Parker Arena in a penalty-filled and emotionally charged outing against the Merritt Centennials. Kings assistant coach Brock Sawyer joins us up here in the post-game show. We said on air a couple of times, it seems like this wasn't necessarily periods 1, 2, and 3 of a game here at the Hat Parker Arena. This was periods 4, 5, and 6 of what we saw in Merritt back in December. Which headset are you on? You're on 3. There you go. Let's try that. Go for it. You're good.
There we go.
You're on the wrong headset. Sorry.
Sorry, I just
no,
picked
that's
up one
okay.
here. No, I mean it. Yeah, it was a shootout at the OK Corral. It was an absolute rodeo out there. I think, you get a bunch of teenagers inside an enclosed 200 by 85 foot surface, with ice, and the speed gets going. Things are going to get emotional and ramped up, and it's very hard to win a game when you're in the box 8 times. So it's it's hard to say. It's hard to criticize, but yeah, I mean, I'll just bite my tongue and we'll move forward and focus on tomorrow.
Managing frustrations on a bench. I mean, we saw Josh Koblenz get quite animated at some of the calls, and I'm not trying to put you in a position here because
you're doing your job. I understand.
I know that it's a fine line that we're going to find here, and I really don't like blaming the officials, and that's not even a consideration here. But when you're on the wrong side, you're perceived to be on the wrong side of decisions, it becomes a game of managing your emotions, managing your players' emotions, and making sure that the focus remains on what's between the whistles, not what's after it.
Yeah, I mean, that was the biggest thing. I think, we got too emotionally charged up and didn't manage our emotions and got frustrated and let it take over. So, I mean, some of the calls you can obviously question. There's Kimball takes back-to-back hookings right before the one. There's a knee or a trip and nothing's called. Another one, Glazman's tripped in the blue line. He's doing an axle or something, spinning on the ice, and there's no call. I mean, it's again, you got to be careful what I say, but the emotion obviously took over, and I mean, our penalty killers were overworked tonight with 8 kills, and they capitalized with 3 goals. So it's frustrating. Obviously, two very good hockey teams playing. I mean, they're battling for first in the interior. We're battling for first in the island, and you'd like to see just the guys let the kids do the playing and leave it on the ice. But to have an impact like that, it definitely sucks. Obviously, it sucks more for us because we lost. But we need to do a better job of maintaining our emotions and keeping it all in check and just playing hard between the whistles. I mean, every time. I think in the first period, obviously, we had a few more power plays than them, but after every whistle, it seemed like Ryan Burchett was getting tomahawked in the back of the legs or cross-checked in the back when he's just skating around. So obviously, they had a game plan. They stuck to it and tried to take coincidentals against our top line, and we cashed in on a power play early for 2, and then they did their job in the third. So. At the end of it, yeah, emotionally it was a tough game, and we had an opportunity to win, and we just didn't get a shot late in the game with the power play.
You mentioned there the penalty killers overworked. There was a passage in the second period where you had Ethan Kimball in the box, Ethan Schmunk in the box, and Christian Buono all in the box. Those are 3 of your 4 main penalty killers. Josh Koblenz would complete their unit, and you got guys who kind of do some part-time duty. I know it's been a focus to kind of expand that unit a little bit. I mean, kind of thrown into the fire guys like Levi Glazman, who kills penalties but not regularly. He's kind of that 5-6 sort of pairing. I think we saw Bruchette out there at some points. Krogfoss had a go. Byrne had some time out there, I believe, as well. Just talk on that and trying to expand that group and obviously putting those guys into a new opportunity and an expanded role when the team needed them.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's it takes all 20 guys in the uniform to win a game, and even the guys who are in the stands have a contributing part. I mean, obviously, we got guys come back from injury and they're hungry to get in the lineup, and they're pushing guys to keep their spots in the lineup. So. To touch on the penalty kill, obviously to help it grow and put guys in more of a situation and help them develop as players and give them some more opportunity and some more responsibility. It's huge. I mean, obviously we've gone with 4 or 6 penalty killers throughout the course of the season, and some nights it's been 4, some nights it's been 6, and to get a few guys like Glazman now in the mix a little bit more, and Nolan Krogfoss slotted in tonight, and I thought he did a remarkable job in there with his speed and his stick. So, don't get it twisted. I mean, we were good. We blocked a ton of shots.
Yes.
I mean, we did sell out and block a ton of shots. Obviously, to go down 5-on-3 twice in a game, it's difficult to kill those off. So, those guys did a tremendous job blocking shots, really selling out for their teammates, and at the end of the day, it just wasn't enough.
I want to talk about Kyle Powell. I think that's his best 60 minutes as a Powell River King. Was out there, made a great play on a 2-on-0, or a 2-on-1, pardon me, back in the first period to deny Merritt a scoring opportunity. Mitch Adamic was able to clean up what was left. Was physical, played that agitator role as the game kind of went on. Was used a lot more, and I think answered the call tonight.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's a guy who's been in and out of the lineup since getting here, and he's, he hasn't played a lot this year. So I think the biggest thing when he got here was one, to really settle in and get back into game shape, and two was to figure out our system we play and the little details. Obviously, he had great coaching in Kelowna, and coming in here, obviously we do things a little bit differently, but the fundamentals are there. So I thought tonight he rebounded really well from his game in Port Alberni last Friday. I mean
didn't play Saturday, Sunday in Victoria. So.
No, exactly. And I mean, tonight he got out there, was stuck with some really quick forwards who tried to go wide on him, and he uses that long reach to his advantage and got back and just rode them into the near side post like we teach him. So he was good. Yeah, I mean, he was physical. He was good with the puck. He was keeping it simple, and even killing penalties. He was getting down, taking away the net front pass. I mean, Merritt's a team that loves to go backdoor, and he took away about, I think, 3 or 4 in his time on the penalty kill. So yeah, he did a great job, and it's it's funny that he's a big guy. He's physical. He plays that agitating role, but when push comes to shove, everybody's always talking between the whistles, seems to skate away. So it's it's nice to have him out there, kind of policing things, and sometimes even helping the linesmen and the refs doing their job by breaking stuff up. So he's a welcome addition on the team, and I thought tonight he was pretty good.
Let's move ahead to tomorrow, and obviously turning that frustration. Imagine there's a fair bit of anger down in the room right now, and in the coach's office. Tyler Kuhn's getting ejected from the game in the third period as well. Let's I guess focus ahead to tomorrow and turning that negative into a positive, and trying to channel that energy into something positive against a team that beat the Kings in West Kelowna earlier this season, and a team that's coming in and has had a tumultuous season, has a very good head coach behind the bench in Brandon West, who's come in to replace Jeff Grimwood. And looking to try and, I guess, prove something down the stretch and maybe make a bit of noise come March.
For sure. I mean, they're a team. They got some really good players. I mean, Mike Hardman, he's a stud for them. He scores a lot of goals. He's
second in league scoring with 32, not including what he's done tonight.
So I mean, he factors in a lot of scoring for them and a lot of chances. So they got some good players, obviously, and they've been through so much adversity. Though that group, I mean, they'll be ready to go. Obviously, they're coming up here, and they have a tough day. They were in Chilliwack tonight, so they'll be traveling up and riding the bus. And for us, it's something that we need to take it and use to our advantage. So. We'll review this one, review some stuff, and make sure we're ready to go tomorrow. I mean, the plan is to just keep all systems firing and keep our emotion in check and play hard between the whistles and lay off the referees and, get to their goalie and get to them early, and hopefully we can, we can put in a solid 60 and call it a win and salvage our weekend.
West Kelowna falling 2-1 tonight. In Chilliwack, Mike Hardman did not find his way in the goal column. Brock, sir, thanks for coming up and doing this. Busy night for you in the third period, managing the entire bench there with no Kyle Bodie on the bench either. Thanks for coming up. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, it makes it fun. Thanks for having me.
Brock Sawyer, nice suit, by the way.
Hey, thank you.
Brock Sawyer joining us here in a post-game show.